774 to fill the same tank. Utilities are up, gas prices for cooking is up, groceries are up. This is the type of government an enemy will wish on an adversary. The worst in living memory. Joseph Akable was telling me this morning. So he said his vehicle is 1.3 liters, right? 2 years ago, he would fill it with 160 Ghana cedis. Today, even 350 Ghana cannot fill the tank. And this is 1.3 liters.
Oh, maybe.
So Winston and I have the same branded vehicle, right? The same make and model. How many liters does that car hold?
It's 55. The tank is 55 liters.
Right. 55 liters.
Yes.
And now a liter of petrol is what? 17 point what?
17.99. In other places 17.83. Some are doing 17.5. So just use 17.
Okay.
For purpose of analysis, use 17.
Okay.
Yes.
So that means now to fill our tank, 935 Ghana cedis, almost 1,000 Ghana cedis to fill the tanks of these little cars that we drive.
Yes, I mean, Kojo, you now would have to spend 935 cedis to fill that car. And, if you look at the fact that at the beginning of the year, say, for instance, on the 19th of January, it was costing you 387 Ghana cedis to fill it.
Yeah.
387 Ghana cedis. You would realize that if you do 935, so 935 minus 387, that takes you to 548. So the increase is 548 Ghana cedis this year. That's how much more you have to spend.
Richard Frimpong is in OEB Estates. Richard says, I use a motorbike, and due to the increment, I have restricted my movement. I only move on reasons. We all need to practice economics. A very good friend of mine said that you must save. This is the time to save.
So you see, the challenge here, and let me just do this. So the challenge here is that we have to come
This
to
is
work.
the time to save what?
Yeah, because he says there are harder times ahead.
But what are you going to save, Mamavi?
Well, the reality is that if we look at ourselves here, we have to come to work at dawn. So, I mean, you'd want to drive to work.
No, you have no choice.
Yes, you have to drive to work. Now, so in driving to work, you have to use your own vehicle. And the vehicle that I use, you come in, you go, you go. Sometimes you're stuck in traffic in the afternoons or in the evenings when you're going home, so it would also affect your fuel consumption and even the place that you live. Now, the point is that when we did the budgeting for 2022, the Minister of Finance actually budgeted crude oil prices. His target was at $60, about $60 at the beginning of the year. And then we saw Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and that actually increased. During the media budget review, he actually reviewed that benchmark price and set it now at about $90. The little question you want to ask yourself is this. So yes, we may have had a challenge with the invasion of Russia, but it presented us with some windfalls, because all of a sudden we started earning more than we would have wanted to earn. At a point, crude oil on the world market was more than $120. So per even our budgeted revenue from crude oil, we're getting more than 100% of it. And you realize that the finance minister, when he came, he said that, even though a lot of things had gone, he was reviewing our revenue targets down, we are not going to borrow more because of windfalls from crude oil. So the point simply is, if we made these windfalls, couldn't we have used these windfalls to support the Ghanaian? In Rwanda, they provide subsidies for petroleum products. We have seen people in other jurisdictions supporting their citizenry because of the times that they find themselves in. Now ask yourself that simple question. How many people have had their salaries increased by 50% this year? The graphic business carries a story this morning that said fuel prices overtake minimum wage. Now, daily wage is at 13.53. 13.53. Today, yesterday, my nephew called me and told me that he was going to start his national service and that it would cost him, that young man, 19 Ghana cedis daily to and from work. How is that young boy going to survive? His allowance, 559, which is going to be paid after 3 months. So, whichever way you look at it, Kojo, and you've seen, GPRTU increasing transport fares. For those who take, taxis and all of that, the fares keep going up all the time.
Yeah.
Dr. Rekuwebu yesterday when he joined us talked about how his help said if you're going to speak on radio, make the point that every other week fares are going up. Why are fares going up? Fares are going up because every pricing window, the cost of petroleum products are going up. Why are they going up? And I did something this morning. I shared with you and I told you that, look, in March 2022, the price of crude oil, Brent crude, was 117. Today it's at 93. And even at that point in time, 117, we were buying, diesel at 10.4 per liter. Today's at 23. 23 Ghana cedis. Now, listen to this carefully. When this was 117, we're actually paying 10.4. You know why? Because at the time, the cedi to dollar, $1 was 7.4 Ghana cedis. And because of the depreciation of the Ghana cedi, this is where we've reached. And so when people talk about the need to halt the depreciation of the Ghana cedi, or government must begin to think about cushioning people, these are some of the reasons. Because all of a sudden, even though the price on the world market, so we'll talk about the price on the world market. Well, I'm telling you that today the price on the world market is going down.
So I've lost track of how often the prices go up. Is this the normal review price, the 2 weeks, or this
It's
still
the
has to
depreciation
do
of the cedi, isn't it?
with access to forex and how the cedi is depreciating?
Well,
It just gets confusing.
Mamavi, ordinarily, I would answer your question this way. So, the pricing window, 1st to 15th of every month is the first pricing window, the first 2 weeks of a month. Then the next 2 weeks we'll have a second pricing window. So if you go to the NPA's website today, the NPA advertises 2 pricing windows. But what we saw was that last week, around the 27th, 28th of October, the prices increased. That was not time for the second pricing window, but they increased. And this is the second time this year I've seen this. It could be more. Okay. So on the 28th, it increased from 13.10 to 13.99 with the 4 major, with the major OMCs. But others, and I'm not going to mention names here, others moved to 17 within that time. And you've seen some of the major OMCs moving up to 16.5, 17 this morning. Okay, so they actually advertised it. But last week, instead of waiting for the November pricing window to begin, what the OMCs did was to start it before the pricing window. And so you had others increasing, not as much as the 16 that some people started selling last week.
Yeah.
To 13.99. And this morning, they've gone to 17 or 16.5.
16.5.
Okay, so that's the situation. So you saw a departure from the normal practice of the pricing windows being 2 in every month. And that would explain to you the times that we find ourselves in. That explains to you the fact that you can no longer today, people don't even have to wait for the laid down timelines that we all agreed on in pricing for petroleum products.
That's sad, right? Because salaries haven't gone up. And listen, it will be insensitive for you to go to your employer today when you are in employment and you're getting salary to say that I want an increment.
So what this means is that it becomes impossible to plan. And that is the real the real symptom of poverty. You know, your inability to plan because your resources are not reliable. You don't know when basic things are suddenly going to become unaffordable because there is no control. Now, this is a leadership problem. I'm sorry, the president can blame OMCs or what is it called? Entreat OMCs to do the right thing. But in the end, it's a leadership problem. The decision to deregulate was a government decision, was it not? Mm-hmm. Nobody forced us to deregulate. We decided that's what we want to do. So in these times, should we be looking at that decision again?
Well, the decision to deregulate was taken because at the time, government told us of how they were subsidizing crude oil, petroleum products.
Yes.
And we had argued that, well, you couldn't be taxing us and telling us that you were subsidizing it. And so once a while, the government will come in and tell you that, oh, we have incurred a lot of losses. So that was the reason at a point in time we brought the toll debt recovery levy and everything. So we said that why don't we, get, why don't we deregulate the sector? And the belief at the time was that the competition was going to inure to the benefit of the consumer. But there's also another school of thought. I mean, that this is an oligopoly where a group of people control a particular commodity. And if they control a particular commodity, that group can actually determine how they want to set prices. And so ordinarily, the competition that you may want, that you may encourage, may not happen. We have seen in the past that the top 4 OMCs or top 3 OMCs regularly having the same prices. And so you had some of the other OMCs beginning to reduce it, but they don't get the margins that you would get from the top OMCs because they have a market share that's very huge, because in the past we have known these OMCs. So yes, I can agree with you that even though we started with the deregulation and it was because we were trying to help the consumer, it only had to take government this year at a point in time, convincing GOIL to reduce at the point, which actually led to a lot of controversy. And it forced other OMCs to do same.
But I can tell you, Winston, today, as we speak, they don't care about competition. It is what you have and what you're able to buy. And so you're checking the margins as you sell. You don't care about how someone else is selling it. And that's what we've seen in the past couple of days.
I was talking about inability to plan. OMCs are victims of that as well. That's what motivates them to do this, because they have no idea what the situation will be like next month with our currency. And they will have to take our cedis that we are paying them at the pumps and use it to go and buy more crude. Buy more, petroleum products. So they can't plan. And because they can't plan, they are forced to do things like this to put themselves in the safest possible position. Sometimes we call it greed, right? Because we think the margins are too big, they are moving before the price window and all that. But you have to ask yourself, what is motivating them to do that? If they felt that they could wait for the price window to come along and they will not lose, wouldn't they wait? Wouldn't they wait? I mean, do you think they are excited to be posting numbers like 18 cedis, 17 cedis per litre on their boards? Definitely. They are not.
But they're also Ghanaians.
You see? So
Obviously
the thing is, at this point, instead of appealing to their charity and asking them to, please do the right thing.
That won't work.
You need, this is the point at which leadership needs to step in and determine that, okay, look, like we keep saying, we're in a crisis situation. Times are not normal. So we have to make certain specific decisions to safeguard certain spaces. Otherwise, the effect on the economy will be too much. Already now, the money that you have worked and sweated to earn is losing value while you are asleep. Then the crucial, most important thing that you have to spend it on is also going up by about 40% in price overnight. It's almost a bad idea for you to fall asleep. It's too expensive. You can't afford it. Because by morning, your whole life can change. And this is fuel. It will affect everything. Everything.
So what really happens is that now, if I am going to buy fuel, or if I am a trader or anybody, I do not know what tomorrow will be for me.
Yes.
And so once I do not know what tomorrow holds, I will increase my products bearing in mind that there could be increases in other products tomorrow.
Exactly.
And that's what we are seeing. And that's what we're seeing. That's why I started by saying that. So, I mean, the national inflation, we're using a basket. Lots of things included in that basket. Individuals have their own inflation. And I started this morning by saying, if I look at my inflation, when it comes to petroleum products, my inflation has gone up by more than 100%. When it comes to a lot of the things I buy, my inflation has gone up by almost 100%. So my inflation on the average could be about 100%. The reality is that when your inflation is about 100%, it really affects your income levels. It means you'd have to spend more than you were spending previously by that same margin. Unfortunately, my earnings do not correspond to that.
You guys remember I was telling you recently that my little boy was saying that the snacks they buy in school, the prices have gone up. So the 5 cedis that we normally would give them to buy snacks will have to top up.
Yeah.
Because popcorn has gone up.
Yeah. We have to load an account for school meals for my son. So once the account is depleted, then you load some more. I used to be able to put a certain amount on it and it would last for the whole month. I'm having to put that amount on every week. Every week. Anyway, look, nobody is escaping this. It affects everyone. I know that we went out and spoke to some students, didn't we, Winston?
Yes.
Mamavi.
Yes, let's listen to the students. They've been complaining about how the times are affecting them.
The daily hiking price of foodstuff, transport fares, utilities, and the like have really made living in this country very, very unbearable. We are currently managing the situation by purchasing off-brand version of commodities such as rice, tomato paste, and cooking oil, which are, I might add, of low quality. We hope that times will get better in the coming months.
I saved a lot. I opened a Fidelity account for my savings, just to save towards my future. The sad thing is I have nothing currently because I've had to actually clear out both accounts because there's really nothing to save. Every day comes with its own different expense. I just can't save. Prices keep shooting up because it's draining. Most times I wake up at 4 a.m. and then I'm just trying to figure out my life. I just keep asking myself, is this it? I'm not even 30 yet. And I don't even see a future here in Ghana anymore. It's very frustrating. It's very disturbing. We just have a long way to go and it doesn't look positive. The future doesn't look bright at all.
Having to adjust to the economy was harder than I thought. The first time I heard the value of the cedi depreciating, I was in school and I wasn't shocked at all. I somehow expected it, but then now it's just bad. I've had to manage a lot of things, like my food and even my clothes, and I eat a lot. In the end, I'm just limited, and I hope it changes.
For me, living under my parents' care, times have become very difficult. And if anything, the whole economic situation has just made me more cautious and conscious of how I spend what I have and what I ask for from my parents, because at the end of the day, they are my caretakers. And there's already enough burden on them, so I'm not trying to be an additional one by asking for things I don't necessarily need.
I'm not a worker or someone on a salary, but the current state of the economy has affected my daily life. Prior to the current economic hardship we are experiencing, I would have been able to buy myself simple things like a pack of waakye or a drink or just kilewili to treat myself. But due to the current hike in prices and the increased cost of everything, simple things like that I could have been able to get for myself without a second thought have become luxuries that I can only get now every once in a while.
Kind of struggle. For example, even Coke, basic Coke is 10 cedis. That really discourages me from buying Coke. And the price of transportation too has really gone up, which also discourages me from leaving the house. It's really worrying me, Charlie. It's really worrying me.
As a student, I had to reduce the intake of things I call sweet treats, like the pinkberry ice creams, the pizzas, the kebabs. Well, if someone buys for me, that one I will take it, but using my own money, the line.
Students, they're really being forced to live under some serious pressure there.
Of course, what else can they do? I mean, the times are such that that's the only option. These are not the times that they're used to. Maybe in the past few years, things probably would have been better than it is right now. So the price of cook, yes, not 10 cedis. I didn't know that because I hardly would buy these things.
Sorry?
I didn't know that coke was not 10 cedis.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what the student said, 10 cedis. It's not something I buy, so I didn't know.
It used to be 1 cedi 50 pesos or whatever. Wow. Not so many months ago. 10 cedis.
With the it's so I my boys when you keep talking about things are difficult and things like that, they tend to be. It's almost like they are carrying your burden, right? So they would say, "Oh, mommy, it's okay. Don't get it for me. You keep the money and use it for something else." So sometimes I almost feel very guilty. I don't want to expose the fact that things are difficult to them. But what I have done, I said the other day, I bought large fries, and the large fries is not large biao. They just call it large fries. They will add some small fries to it, and then they say large. More. Yeah, large fries, 6 pieces of chicken wings. And these are tiny pieces. 1 milkshake, large. 80 Ghana cedis for lunch. I told myself, I am doing roasted plantain. I can do 3 pieces or 4 pieces and granuts. That comes up to 10 cedis. Yeah.
And these are real changes, okay? Because the level of nutrition, the standard of nutrition for your family has changed. Mm-hmm. Okay, you are forced to still feed them, but not to the same quality. That's the reality. Real changes are being made. People are having to make real decisions that change the structure of their standard of living. And that's what I'm interested in. I want to know how these recent hardships are affecting you, whether it's the inflation, whether it's the plummeting value of the city, whether it's the hiked prices of fuel. This morning, what has changed for you? How have these things changed your standard of living? That's what I'm interested in, and I would love to hear from you when we come back from these messages.
It's everywhere. The anticipation, the game, media football season. Enjoy massive discount. When you are talking class, then you are talking media. Media massive discount promo. The world's largest producer of major appliances, Media. From today, when you see Media, remember there is up to 50% discount on selected items. The news has reached your homes and it's on the streets.
Yes, media discount. Yeah, whoa.
Media kettle. Hey, media na papa da. Media discount,
You've heard it all. Enter any media outlet around you and purchase your gas cooker, dispenser, fridge, water heater, toaster, washing machines, kettles, and many more. And the good news, up to 50% discount on selected items this season. Media football season.
Are you covered? In fact, how much do you know about motor insurance? Do you know exactly what it takes to make sure that your car is all-round covered the way it really needs to be? To make the right choice when choosing a motor insurance policy, you need to talk to the right people. Dunwell Insurance offers competitive rates and a choice of covers ranging from third-party cover, third-party fire and theft cover to comprehensive cover. At Dunwell Insurance, we delight in paying personal attention to our esteemed customers and ensure prompt payment of claims. So if you didn't know, now you know. Dunwell Insurance. If it must be done, it must be done well.
But why all this laughter?
Kwaku gave me 6,000 cedis for shopping for some electrical appliances.
Yes. What about that?
I came home with exactly what he ordered, and I still had 3,000 Ghana cedis on me.
Wow. But it's only NASCO offering this promotion this season.
Of course, yes. It's NASCO. You think you are the only one who knows NASCO brings home happiness? He's been wondering why I don't ask him for money after the shopping.
That's 50% discount power. This season, a NASCO massive discount. It's NASCO new promo. What are you waiting for? This season, we are offering massive discounts up to 50%. Yes, on selected items from NASCO.
Call 0242 439 437. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Charlie, so it's actually raining and we can't hear any sound. As for this, your house, when it's raining, no sound. When the sun is up, the interior is cool. What roof are you using?
They use Ico roofing shingles from Interface Limited. Long lasting and beautiful.
Ico roofing shingles. We all for move to Interface and get this Ico roofing shingles.
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input materials for the building and construction industry in Ghana. Call us on 0274 999999 or visit our website at
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook Interface Limited GH. Instagram interface.limited.
Sorry, any Peja El Cosono, Nanimonium is Sunny. This year at Doom Praise, a 2 days festival, and Shira and Kunimidi, any in Peja Pa. When you boost your phone and Kikambo, Nayan Dishia, Nayan Peja Yame, no Yanko any Munyam Besani. If you say a Tonsa Afre, Travis Green from United States of America. So winners, Edwin Dawson, Celestine Donko, Oyima Messi. Jack Alolomi, Perez Music, the Multimedia Choir, any Afufro Baby. This year at Doom Praise, my God.
The nation is full of surprises. This year we still live in crisis.
Enjoy on a sad Super Morning Show is always the best.
And then I do for watching on a pipe. Tonyama phone, you bedroom the 5. Fele wo gallon, I save your life. When you are the I won't even to our tight.
Going to prove to go against them. So it's like you are going to die by your own words, and they call it famous last words. When these words were originally said. Anyway, Sakode there. It's the Super Morning Show. It's 9:07, and look, it's time for us to hear from you. Okay, we're all talking about our new reality and how this reality is evolving every day. I want to know how it's affecting you. What are those specific things you have had to change? What are the big decisions you have had to make? Because suddenly something costs 4 times as much as it cost in January. That's what I want to know from you. And we'll be opening the lines in just a moment. First, let's remind you that kingdomstoreonline.com is that one website you need to check out today, because that's where you can buy whatever you want from Kingdom, pay by Momo across all networks, and just sit back at home or in your office and they'll deliver free of charge if you are in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. And Adansit Travels, your #1 traveling company, is making the trip to Doha or Dubai very easy. They've got the best offers for $2,700 USD. You can be part of the World Cup campaign, and you can choose to be in Doha or Dubai. Packages include flights, accommodation, breakfast, tours, and a lot more. So choose to stay in Doha and follow the matches, or Dubai. The choice is yours. Why don't you get in touch with Adanse Travels on 059 3850079 or 055 631 0404. You can visit their office. They're in East Legon, close to the American House. You can touch base with them via social media at Adanse Travels and check out the packages.
So the city is plummeting. Inflation is trotting away, and while all this is happening, fuel prices are also rising. I want to know how this is changing your life, how this is destabilizing your life. I want to know what you've had to change because of these developments. Okay, call us on 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. So it's 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. Call us. We have Chidiak on the line from South Labadi. Chidiak, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
My brother.
Please, this goes to the rich and clergy. They must hear it clearly. If the poor don't have anything to eat, they will eat the rich. So they must quickly come together to save this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Chidiak. Benjamin is in Adenta. Is that our very own Benjamin? Good morning.
Yeah, how are you, Kojo?
Not bad at all, my brother.
Yes, there's something I want you guys to also talk about. The OMC, Shell posted more than double profit the very first quarter of this year alone, more than double, which means they've made so much money. So, I mean, that's immoral. In fact, Oxfam has been arguing along this line that people are taking advantage of the situation. So, yes, the city is falling, everybody is struggling, but the OMCs are getting a lot of money, a lot of returns as profit. So why don't journalists, business journalists, WRC and also speak on those things? Because they are making a lot of profit, and they posted it. They themselves announced it to their shareholders that they have made more than double profit. So what do you guys also think about that? You also analyze some of these things, talk to the OMCs, let's see how they are also capitalizing on this and making so much money. Because if you don't know what's for the window, I mean, it means that you are something to hide. And we shouldn't always be looking at one side of the situation. Yes, we are struggling, but the OMC increasing prices center right. You go today, it is this. Tomorrow, it is that. When the price in the international market is coming down, they are saying that they are not sure of the CDs or blah, blah, blah. Whereas they are making a lot of profit. Is that right? You also ought to analyze that. So I'm going to ask the question, why are you guys not also focusing on that angle?
Interesting question, Benjamin. And I mean, we will have to independently verify your detail about Shell's profits last year. But it's also important to mention that in Ghana, the franchisee for Shell is a company called Vivo Energy. It's not Shell Global itself that is operating here in Ghana. It's Vivo Energy that is operating using the Shell brand. So their global profits may not be the same as Vivo Energy's profits here in Ghana. But it's an important question that you are raising, and it's worth asking exactly how much profit are these OMCs making, and whether indeed they could afford to not raise prices when the window has not yet arrived. James is in Achimota. Hi, James. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Tim? Morning show.
No, not bad, James. Good to hear from you.
Good, thanks, yeah. Now, I see we found ourselves in a particular situation now where the drivers and the management of our economy and country have no clue of how to resolve this. I tell you, as a matter of fact, there could be an implosion and an explosion when the ordinary person cannot make ends meet. He's going to ride or walk on empty stomach. I tell you, he or she may turn on the next available person. We don't need to get there. It would not take the army to do anything. We don't need that. We've been through it. I tell you, it's going to be a serious civil revolt, and we may not be able to control it. Somebody mentioned earlier that when the poor can't get anything to eat, they're going to turn on the rich. I tell you, nobody can identify you or disadvantage you as rich or poor. But it's only going to be a matter of survival. Tell this government to just fold up and walk away. Let's put in an IMC, our interim management team, to rescue us. We can introduce price control. We can introduce forest control so that we can put this thing into check. Where it's getting to, I tell you, my brother, I don't want anybody to turn on anybody. We only got one Ghana. I only got you. You only got me. Let's be our brothers keepers.
Thank you, James. We certainly don't want things to escalate either. Salifu is in Koforidua. Hi, Salifu. Good morning.
Hi, Kojo. You are welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back, Salifu.
Greetings to Winston and my daughter.
They accept.
Kojo, things are going to be worse. So let's prepare for the worst. Shika, thereof. So let's manage our money well. The president gave a teaser. So let's abide by the second thereof. But they should also realize the second thereof. So the V is the convoy. Anytime the president is going, he should take his car. And if possible, all the ministers and the parliamentarians just should hire trotro and be going to work. So that we all know that he can pair off. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Salifu from Koforidua. Let's go to Tema. Hi, Nana. Good morning. Oh, have we lost Nana? Do we have Nana on the line?
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, Nana.
I'm so happy.
So we do, Charlie, yourself.
Right. So a quick thing for us to also think about this. For some of I work in a bank, so I'm quite aware that some of these OMTs and BTCs entered into forward contracts for FX with banks, which meant that as far as pricing of their products go, once the product came in, they actually knew what rates to apply across a certain period. So I just wanted to bring to attention the fact that much as I understand that there's a lot of volatility in the FX space, a lot of them entered into forward contracts. So as far as their pricing goes, they knew the price from the outset. So if he's buying a product for a 90-day period, he has the price fixed for that period, which means that within the period, ordinarily, they are not supposed to be hitting us with the price adjustments like they do. So that is to buttress the point the earlier caller made with regards to the profits they posted. Yes, they have made quite an amount from us with that impression or with that mindset that the space has volatility. Whereas most of them did enter forward contracts with banks and knew the pricing fixed for the period within which the product was. And that has been the order of the day. So I think it's high time we all take a critical look at this and then see how it works. If it's forward contract, that best works to fix the price for periods, then we know exactly what period they are looking at. The price is fixed. They know there's no FX losses to be made because once you enter a foreign contract or maturity, it is settled at that rate. So that's my 2 cents.
Interesting insights there. Thank you for that, Nana. Let's stay in Accra now. Here's Echo. Hi, Echo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for calling us, Echo.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm surprised with respect to what is going on. Today, I was watching Metro TV, and then there was this university lecturer, Dr. Sarkodie, and he said that he backed the president's call that we should all shut up, that we should not discuss the economy, we should not discuss the forex situation, we should not discuss the IMF bailout. But I live in the United States. When there was economic meltdown, CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox News, Paul Krugman, George Will, they are intellectuals, they are TV stations. When you watch the discussions that they make with respect to the economy and the predictions and the analysis, it is amazing. The ordinary person is able to hear from these TV stations and all these finance guys who have been there, what is going on. Robust discussion is now being shuttered. We are all now being asked to shut the fuck, to keep quiet, for the government to do whatever.
Echo, you're going to have to watch your language there, please. This is a family station. We don't use such words. But I mean, I appreciate the point you're trying to make. I think it's important to state that the president didn't say we should not talk about the economy. He said if you talk down your money, it will lose value. Money doesn't like noise. That's what he said. Yes, he didn't say don't talk about the economy. I don't think the president has said that ever. All right, let's talk to Harry in Accra. Hi, Harry. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Harry.
Yes. So I'm an employer. I have a staff strength of almost about 100.
Right.
And every time I go to the shop, my heart bleeds. I used to buy an olonka of sugar for 11 cedis. Yesterday I went to the shop, it's 53 cedis.
Hey.
Yeah, I went to shop, it's 53 cedis. I used to buy yams 5 kg for 48 cedis. I went to the shop, it's 106. Now my thought, do I cut down because I'm bleeding. I'm in the healthcare industry. Clients come, you can't increase your prices because if you do that, you drive them away.
Yeah.
You need, and you are wondering, do you cut down your staff strength? I'm a happy-go person. I don't get stressed out. But for once in my life, when I sleep, I wake up at 2 a.m. thinking about how I'll sort out my staff. It's not funny at all. I never pray for the failure of any government because when they fail, it disturbs us. You know, it's killing. As my staff down there, transport fares going up every day. Can you increase their salaries? What's happening? And you know, when you talk, they will try to tag you as being our opposition. I think we don't have brains to see what's happening. It's killing. It's seriously killing. The better, and let's do something about it, the better. Because I wonder how my staff survive. Because if I'm an employer, I'm complaining about the market prices. How much more my staff? Thank you,
Harry, are you worried about the future of your company? Are you worried your business might collapse?
I have planned expansions. Now I have to halt it.
Yeah.
I have to halt it. And I have to struggle to keep my staff because I don't want to send anybody home. Because when I do that, it affects, it's a rippling effect. Each person is taking care of some people at home. You know, it's not funny because somebody comes comes to your place because you can't let the 100 cities go, you have to cut down the price.
Yeah.
Because if you let the 100 cities go, what do you get? You say you can do the job, you've got the men. Fix the place, you're messing us up big time. I don't get stressed, I'm a very happy person, but for once, it's getting to me.
Harry, I know how you feel. Thank you so much for calling us and sharing your experience. I'm sure many people can relate. Yep. It's not easy. All right, George is in Kumasi. Hi, George. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, my brother?
Not bad at all, my brother George.
The president is telling us that we are making noise. So there is no need for us to be making noise. We have to take action because if you wake up in the morning, you put money on the table, and your wife tells you that, oh, sweetheart, what you have put on the table today is not enough. You just have to tell your wife that it's competitive. When your child go to school and come back complaining that now he need or she need money because popcorn is now high, tell the child that she can't impede. You see, so the thing we have, where is the Christian Council and the Peace Council? So can they tell the president anything? When there comes a revolution, that is where they will put up, their big words and their big bellies and coming to talk to Ghanaians. They must rise up and tell the president something. Because we are suffering as Ghanaians. And when we are complaining, we say we are making noise. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Okay, take another call. Ahmed is in Achimota. I think this will be our last call for now. Ahmed, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo. How are you?
I'm okay. How's Achimota today?
It's okay. We're thanking God. Everybody's surviving here.
Great.
Well, I think the issue we have now, the foundation has to do with the prices of our products. And we cannot also blame the workers in this sector. I overheard one banker indicate that most of them to forward contract. That's true. if you look at the forward contract in terms of exchange rate transactions that the OMC and the DDC have, the forward contracts are usually higher than the spot rate. And so even though you have an arrangement with them, the spot rate is always lower than the forward contract rate. So clearly, you have to also consider that in their price, So we don't have to blame the operators in the sector.
Right.
What we only have to do is to ensure that we gain and ensure that we have our own food, and that's the financial problem. Because the problem is, once there's a challenge on one end, it cuts across all everybody into the pocket, and so that's what I think we do.
Yeah, I get your point, Ahmed. Thank you for calling us to share. Thanks to all of you who called us this morning. Interesting perspectives there. My heart bleeds for Harry and his staff.
Harry's not alone. I know a large manufacturing company. The resolve is that they're not going to lay off workers, but they're not producing what they used to produce. And they're also worried because they know that what they pay the workers
is not enough.
Not enough. But what can they do if you're maintaining the same workforce? It's a hard one. But even when you take that position, for how long?
Exactly. I told you about a business owner who is forfeiting her salary just so she can pay her staff.
Meanwhile, she has her own family.
Right. These are real sacrifices. I mean, if Mamavi, can you sacrifice your salary? Can you decide to go without your salary?
No way.
Exactly. So the tension, that's what bothers me. The tension is building because nobody knows the plan. Nobody knows what the plan is. Look, the truth is, you can endure anything if you know it will end.
True.
Right? That's how we are as humans.
Yeah.
We can adapt and endure anything if we know it will end. So at this point, really, what people need to know, in order to be able to tighten their belts and hold on and sacrifice, they need to know what the plan is. How long are we going to have to suffer this?
Yeah.
And what is happening to end it? What is happening to end it? If we all know the plan, we can all rally around it. Then we'll know, okay, yes, we have to face this for a year or 2 years or 3 years. At the end of it, everything will be fine. And during those 3 years, this is what will be happening.
Yeah.
If we know the plan, we can deal with it.
True.
But when it appears like there is no plan, and you get this the 12 points, 12 measures that the president announced, none of which are actual, measurable. Oh, it's so weird.
Let's go on Twitter. We've shared messages on WhatsApp. On Twitter, Mensa_Votavi says, planning to leave this country now because I also don't like what is going on. Bako_Kojo says, I've cut the number of times I eat a day to once, and even the quantity. There are a lot of things like spag, chocolate, and soft drink that I've lost desire for because of this economy. Longfellow_GH says, have had to cut back on everything, but still no changes can be seen. Yaro in Nima says, my water intake. Now, water is something that you cannot cut back on. You need to take a lot of water every day. Emmanuel Torres says, I eat at midday, and then if anything comes my way in the evening, I go chop.
So, John, one of our listeners, just sent me this. He went to buy his Ventolin inhaler. In August, he paid 28 cedis for it. Today, his receipt is here. He spent 62 cedis on it. August till today. Charles Beno Yokai sent me a picture of his medicine, 18 Ghana cedis 3 months ago, now 38 Ghana cedis. And just yesterday, it went up to 48 Ghana cedis. Wow. Oche then.
When we come back, Kojo, we have the Ghana Revenue Authority talking about their e-VATs on the show.
Very important. Stay with us. Back after these.